Hey Sandy, welcome. Thank you for coming along and joining me tonight for our Friday night Facebook Live. Tonight I'm going to talk a little bit about this 1010 portal energy, an energy that we are going to experience tomorrow. For us here in Australia, that's Saturday, the 10th of October. But for everyone around the world, it is the 10th of October. It doesn't matter what weekday that falls on, but it's definitely the 10th of October. Hey, Deb, Liz, Martine, thank you for joining me. So, a couple of months ago, we had the Lionsgate portal, and that was on the 8th of the 8th. And that tends to be the portal that's the most well known of all of these energy portals that we actually experience annually. So this is in essence the next energy portal that we're set to experience this year, the 1010 portal. And we also have another energy portal, which is the 1111 energy portal that we will experience as well this year. So that's in a month's time as well. So I'll probably do another one to talk a bit about that energy as well, just before our 1111 portal. But tomorrow's one is the 1010 energy portal. Some people call it the Libra Gate. I think that's a little bit like our Lion's Gate because we're in Libra energy as well at the moment, but it's more well known as simply the 1010 energy portal or energy gateway. And all three of those, so the 8-8, the 10-10, and the 11-11 portals, all three of those are considered ascension portals. So these are bringing through a lot of energy for us to assist us in our own ascension, so our own spiritual growth, as well as the ascension for all of us as a collective down here, so for everybody. So it's for us individually as well as all of us combined as a collective that are here on the earth at present. So it's bringing a lot of energy to really help us to push us forward on our spiritual journeys and to help us open further, do healing, whatever it is that we're needing really at that time. Now, particularly our 1010 gate focuses on more of a new beginnings kind of energy, is the sort of energy that it brings through for us. So with that, anyone that knows numerology, so 10 tends to focus, it gets broken down into 1, and that energy is really focused on new beginnings, on rebirth, on a real lot of brand new energy, of pioneering kind of energy. And there's also a lot of creativity that comes through with that energy. And they tend to be the themes that we more often than not will experience around this 10-10 energy gate. Now I've been tuning in the last day or two to this energy, I've really been getting the strong message about utilizing this creative force. So universe has this wonderful creative force that we can tap into and we can utilize for ourselves as well. So even if you don't think that you are a very creative person as such, when we are in the flow, when we're, tapping into that psychic energy and that universal energy for healing or for guidance or whatever it is, we're tapping into that creative force that the universe has for us. And we're really being encouraged at our 1010 portal to connect in with that creative force, to connect in with that energy, and to start to bring that through for ourselves. Because of this one energy, this new beginning energy that comes in around this time, you might have found that your buttons have been getting pushed, that there's maybe some stuff that you've been having to acknowledge that might need healing or releasing in your life. Because always when we have new beginning, we always end up having buttons pushed to release anything that no longer serves us. And so that is a big theme at the moment as well around this 1010 energy portal. So you might already be aware of certain buttons that have been getting pressed for yourself over the last week or even couple of weeks. Perhaps themes that have been coming up for you that you might need to examine for your own healing, or things that are just really frustrating you if there's stuff that's like I say, pushing your buttons and really frustrating you, there's a reason that they're pushing your buttons and they're frustrating you, and it's worth stopping and having a look as why. So are these things that no longer serve you that you maybe need to reevaluate and determine, do I need to keep this? Do I need to keep space in my life for this? Or is it time to make some change? Is it time to um, perhaps head a new direction or do something in a new way? So very much we need to really acknowledge and take a look at those things. So if you've found, like I say, lots of buttons being pushed, things that you're perhaps being asked to look at or to heal, then now's the time to really look at healing those things so that you can really embrace this new energy, this rebirthing energy that's going to be coming through for us on this 10-10 date. Now, don't feel that you have run out of time because tomorrow is 10-10, is the 10-10 portal and you should have already dealt with it all. Because what I would encourage is that if you're feeling like that there's things that are there for you to heal and to shift, um, then spend some time tomorrow, perhaps doing some of the meditations and divinations and different things, and make that your focus. It's like, how do I go about healing this? What is the right way to heal this, to release this, to work with this? And make that your focus so that way, once you've been able to do that work, you can shift in and really allow that rebirthing energy to come through. So tap into that creative force to get those answers for yourself. Or if you found that, maybe you've done a lot of clearing and healing and you're like, oh, wow, no wonder I've been going through such a roller coaster and I've been having to work through all of that, then tomorrow's going to be that ideal time to be able to sit with and tap into that creative force to get the inspiration and the guidance as to where to from here. What's the most appropriate steps now, or how do I embrace this new beginning that might be already being put in front of you. So this is essentially the themes that come through with our 10-10 energy. They also really gave me a very strong message about embracing a pioneering spirit as well. So this sense of have a go, kind of jump in, aim at your dreams and really put energy behind them. All of that kind of energy where it's like, your dreams are always going to take you in the right direction for you. So, even if you're not really sure why you're here, what you're meant to be doing, know that your dreams and aspirations, those things you're passionate about, will always take you in the right direction for you. So do know that, okay? So specifically what to do tomorrow, well, I've mentioned a little bit. Meditation is really fantastic on these energy portal days. So if you can take time to slow down and so that you can embrace this energy, that you can be a little bit quieter to be able to pay attention for the signs and symbols and to take time to do things like meditation, that is really ideal at these portals. Now remember, we always have a build-up of this energy that occurs for us. So you might have already been feeling this energy really quite strongly before tomorrow, but it's like tomorrow is going to be that apex of energy, so it's going to be the ideal time to embrace this energy. But if you, perhaps don't have time or can't make the time tomorrow, don't stress. Perhaps you can take some time later tonight, or you might find some time to be able to do some of this perhaps on Sunday instead, so the day after, because this isn't like switching on a light switch. It's not like that energy is just going to be only there and then magically instantly gone. It's like there is that build up of energy to the 10-10, and then there'll be a releasement of that energy. So we can still tap into it that bit early or that bit later as well, a bit like, working with full moon energy and those kinds of things as well. There's always a build up. Oh, that's a nice idea, would you? Lighting a candle to welcome that new energy, and that's a beautiful idea. Thank you, Dylan. So meditation is a really big one. So like I said, you might set the intent of how do I release this or how do I heal this, to start to get some guidance around that through meditation. Or perhaps, how do I create this new beginning, or what is the next step for me, or how do I embrace this new opportunity, etc. So you might set some of that as your focus for meditation. Also ideal time to be doing divination at these portals. It doesn't matter what tools that you like to use, whether you are one that likes to use cards like your tarot cards or oracle cards, or your runes or your pendulum, or it really doesn't matter. Even if you like to sit and do some channeled writing or journal write, like this is all the ideal time to be doing these sorts of things to help us to tune in and to get those messages and that guidance, and paying attention to the synchronicities and the little signs that universe tends to bring for us as well is really important too. So, if you're getting triple numbers and those sorts of things as a sign for you that there's something shifting and changing and universe bringing you messages, or that you've got white feathers is one that I get sometimes, where I'll find white feathers that kind of seem to be strategically left around, or whatever it happens to be that is significant for you, then slowing down so that we can have the blinkers off and pay attention to those is really important, particularly at these times. On a crystal level, I'm really guided. Selenite is one that I use at all the big energy portal times, and when there's a lot of solar energy and things like that going on. Selenite's one I'm always guided to, because selenite is a great crystal that helps us with integrating that energy. So I find if we carry or have around us some selenite, it tends to help kind of soften the energy and stop us from going into overload with this extra energy, this extra ascension energy that'll be coming through. So that's a great one to have at any of these. So that includes our 1010 energy. But I'm also feeling really guided to rose quartz or any of your beautiful soft heart-centered crystals, because one of the big messages they keep giving me around our 1010 portal is to really step into your heart space, to really come back to being heart-centered. And it's like through coming back into that heart space, we can more easily connect in with that creative force, our own creative force, as well as that greater universal creative force as well. And you'll find that those messages and those synchronicities will be seen and noticed a lot easier and identified a lot easier. And coming back to that heart space, when we're like, oh, but what does this mean? It's like trying to center yourself, center back into that heart space to tune in and to be able to get those answers for yourself as well. That's a really great place. Oh, Heather, so it tends to be the 24 hours that the portal is usually open. And I say that roughly because I think that kind of globally, it's a little bit more than 24 hours, so that we can all, kind of tune into it for that whole day, essentially. So from about midnight tonight to midnight tomorrow night would be what they would consider the apex of the portals. And that's with each one of the portals, that apex tends to last for that 24 hours. So it's not like at a specific time during that day. It's like that whole day. We tend to, at the 10:10, we tend to hold like 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. as being more significant, because it brings in some more of that 10 energy. But it's really that whole 24 hours that you'll find is like that peak of energy. So that is, that tends to be your time frame. Oh, I love seeing 1111, Sandy. That's one of my signs that I'm on the right track. So it might be a little bit different for you, but when I see 1111, I always know that I'm on the right track, and I'm feeling guided, that I'm not alone, and they're kind of guiding me and moving me in the right direction. Brianna's just asking, what about some calming crystals? Crystals that help with stress, actually rose quartz is really calming and assists us with stress and anxiety. And amethyst is another one that really assists us with stress and anxiety as well. So they're both really calming crystals. And any of your particularly soft blue crystals, you'll find have a real calming energy about them. So they would be the ones I would really recommend if you're needing something a little extra calming as well. And yes, Fran, these would be good crystals to have by your bedside at night as well. So you can kind of carry them on you and have them by the bedside if you like. So that would all work really well when it comes to your crystals. So Deb's just said, dreamt of the goddess of many arms, Durga, the other night and felt it was in relation to moving forward. Oh, that's perfect. So it's probably also connected to our 1010 energy. And you can find that there's a lot of dreams and your meditations can be a lot more vivid. So our intuition can really seem to be a lot more on point around these portal times, which is why it's really important to try and utilize this energy and to take time to use our divination tools, to do our meditations, pay attention to your dreams, all of that sort of thing. It's really important to try and do that, because we'll be more connected because of this extra energy that's essentially raining down on us at this time. So this is really ideal. But at these portals, I love to use frankincense. I find things like frankincense oil and burning frankincense and sandalwood. I love to have it burning all day. I tend to have my candles lit and pay more attention to those sorts of things, those sorts of rituals that I know put me in that right space where I'll be more relaxed and more receptive and more open. And then if we're slowed down a bit, then we can, if we start to find there's some inspiration that comes through, we can kind of jot that down. Don't just think, oh, I'll remember that later, because every time I know when I do that, I don't remember it later. It seems very vivid at the time, but you won't necessarily remember it later. So jot those things down, pay more attention to those things, because like I say, there's a lot more energy, so we'll be more connected at this time. Occasionally I find there's some people that will experience a portal where they feel like everything's a bit more foggy, and that means that energy is probably just going to be shifting a lot for them and doing a lot more on a healing level for those people. And so it'll only be the occasional portal that you might find you feel more like you're in a fog, rather than you're really connected and more's coming through for you. Mostly we tend to be more in that connection and connected and flowing space around these portals. So that's why I say it's important to pay attention. Pay attention to the synchronicities, the messages. I will tend to sleep a bit less, so I tend to find my sleep will get a little bit more interrupted, usually because it's like I've got more downloads, I've got more messages coming through. So your mind can be a little bit busier because there's more messages and things coming through. So rather than try and toss and turn, I will get up, particularly at those times, and just sit and journal write and get, do like a brain dump and just get it out of your head. Even if not all of it makes sense, just get it down, get it out of your head, so that you can kind of get back into bed and hopefully get some type of sleep. I do find that the 1010 portal tends to be a little bit gentler than the 88 portal. So the Lions Gate that we experienced 2 months ago, I do find this energy tends to be a little bit gentler, but I mean, some years it can be very full on. So it really varies year to year as to, I suppose, how gentle or how full on we can find this energy. In relation to meditation as well, Mystical Dragon is one of the hosts of a 1010 meditation. So we are running one at 10 a.m. tomorrow, which Laura is leading, the beautiful Laura. And so she has all of this energy as her focus for the guided meditation tomorrow. So if anyone's interested, I've actually held that one open for bookings until 9 o'clock tonight. It's only $10 if you want to join us. And you can find that on our website as well as in the events tab on Mystical Dragons page as well. You'll see that meditation there as an event, and that will take you through to be able to book as well if you want to join us for that one. So yes, you can still book up until 9 o'clock tonight. So anyone that books in the next little while, I'll do all those emails at 9 o'clock tonight. So that's a really great way to make time for yourself and to be connecting in with that energy in a really focused way as well. Beautiful. All right, guys. So that's essentially our 1010 energy portal. I am actually going to take next week off and give myself a little rest. Just feeling guided it's the right time. So I won't be doing a Facebook Live next week, but I will let you guys know when I get the message or feel that it's time to do another one and what that will be. So I will share that on Mystical's page and in our newsletter. But I hope that that's really helped you to understand some more about the 1010 portal. It's not as well talked about. The Lionsgate tends to be the one that's talked about the most out of all of the portals. And we do, some people talk about the 9/9 energy portal and a 12/12 energy portal as well. But I feel like the three big major ones are our 8/8, our 10/10, and the 11/11. And then it's almost like 9/9 and 12/12. Yes, there's energy that comes through around that time, but it's not as big and significant as what these three are in particular that we experience every year. So that's worth being aware of as well.